to go through 20 things to think about if you are new to dressmaking or you've been doing it a little while and want to improve your skills. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ali and I've been dressmaking since the early 90s. I make my own clothes and I do it professionally too. I'm going to keep this quick so we can get through 20 different things in a short amount of time. If you want any more detail on any of these things, please comment below. I always answer any questions that I get. So let's get straight on with it in no particular order. Don't waste money on loads of gadgets. Don't buy things that you don't need. You'll see all sorts of dressmaking equipment that you can buy. Little special weights for weighing down paper, rolling mats and cutters for cutting things out. You don't need any of that stuff. Just straightforward pencil, paper for making your patterns, pair of scissors, and some decent fabric scissors, essential for cutting out your fabric, and just pins and scissors and a sewing machine, obviously. That is all you need. You don't need any of the other little gadgets. I keep my videos really basic. I want everyone, however little equipment they've got, to be able to work with my videos. If in doubt, pre-wash your fabric. You don't want to spend ages making something, getting it to fit perfectly, getting all of your seams to sit beautifully, and then ironing it and it shrinks. Even if you get 2 to 3% shrinkage on a fabric, it can make your garment too tight or it can pucker up, something like that. So if in doubt, just pre-wash it on the same washing machine cycle you're going to be using when you launder your garment. Before you start sewing, play around with your sewing machine and play around with what stitch type you want, stitch length, tension, all of those things. You don't want to start making something and then get halfway through and think, well, actually, I could have done with a shorter or a longer stitch size, or a different kind of stitch would have done in one place. Also, think about how you're going to finish off the seam, like overlocking or pinking shears. If you're going to press them flat, press them to the side. Just think about how you're doing all of your seams and your hems and things like that before you get started. It's always worth cutting everything out first, and then when you've got all your little leftover pieces from cutting out your fabric, you've always got little bits, use that to do your tension tests and your stitch tests, all of those things. Measurements. When you're taking your body measurements, just be really accurate and be honest. Don't measure yourself and think, oh, I wish I was a bit smaller or I wish I was a bit bigger, and change it. Just be completely honest. If you're not, you're going to regret it because your pattern's not going to fit perfectly. And then when it comes to making your pattern, when you measure it out, be really accurate. I know it sounds ridiculous measuring to the nearest millimetre, but if you're off by a millimetre or so in one place, it will throw off the next bit and so on, and you could end up with something that just doesn't fit properly at all. So always double check your measurements, and if it's not looking right, just work your way back and see if you've messed up on a previous measurement when you're drafting a pattern. If you're completely new to dressmaking, don't be fooled into thinking something like a t-shirt or using that kind of fabric is a good place to start because it's a little bit stretchy and it looks like a basic garment. It's actually much harder to sew than a woven fabric. Something like what I'm wearing, just a basic cotton poplin, is a great place to start. It's nice to work with, it's nice to sew, the seams press nice and easily. It's just a good basic fabric to start with. Natural fabrics always mould nicer to the body, they press better, and they just feel nice to wear. So I definitely recommend a cotton poplin or something similar for your first project. Always make a sample first. Obviously, if it's something you've made before, you don't need to make a sample, you're going to know it fits. But if you're drafting a new pattern, even if you just make the sample, for example, from the waist up, if the skirt's not fitted, just do it, because you can make your sample with no seam allowance on the armholes and the neck. You can see exactly where the edges are. You don't want to be correcting that on your actual garment when you've cut into your lovely fabric. Correcting it on a sample is the best way. And also when you're making amendments, you might end up with a little bit of gaping on a neck if you've, for example, cut it down quite a lot. All of those things can be so easily corrected on a paper pattern before you cut out your lovely fabric. If you cut out your fabric and then you discover these things, it's a lot harder to fix. So as much as it's adding a little bit of a step to the process, you're probably going to save time overall when you come to make your actual garment. So always make a sample first. Make sure you've got a sharp needle. It's amazing what problems you could encounter if you haven't. If your needle's blunt and you're using a fabric like a lining, it can really snag it and it can absolutely ruin your fabric and ruin your project. The other thing that could happen if your needle isn't sharp is things like skipping stitches. It's not an obvious thing that you would think about. You'd think it would just maybe snag the fabric, but you can skip stitches as well. So just test it out, and that's one of the first things to think about if you are having problems getting your stitches perfect. And when you're starting a project, make sure you've got a spare needle, because it's so easy to snap a needle. You don't want to start a project with one needle and then halfway through you accidentally snap it if you go over a pin or something like that. So always make sure you've got some spares. If you're using a jersey fabric, make sure you've got a ballpoint needle, because that is what you need for those kind of fabrics. You don't want to pierce the fibres in your jersey fabric. You want that ballpoint needle to push through the gaps between the threads rather than pierce them. And that's what the ballpoint needle is really good for. When you are first starting dressmaking, don't expect absolute perfection. Don't compare yourself to someone who's been doing it for years, or even someone who's been doing it a few months. Believe me, if you saw the first few things I made many years ago, my stitching wasn't straight, my finish was absolutely shocking. It takes time and practice to get everything perfect, but just have a go, just get some basic fabric, make your first garment, and then on the next project, improve a little bit. And before you know it, you will have improved so much and you're going to be so happy with what you produce. You can always go back to those first garments and do little corrections or restitch bits that you're not happy with further down the line when your skills improve. You don't need to tack all of your seams before you start sewing. I know in the past a lot of people have been taught this way, to tack everything first, but it does take a long time. You can easily pin things, and if you've got a really thick fabric, you can use little clips or even just pegs from your washing line if you don't have the clips. You don't need to buy anything fancy. Any basic pins or little clips will do. I always recommend clips if it's a really thick fabric that's hard to pin through. Other than that, pins are perfect. They hold it together easily. They're really easy to take out when you're sewing, and you can either pin them in line with where you're sewing or you can pin them across. If you're pinning across the fabric, just make sure you don't sew over your needles. Just try and pull it out just at the last minute before you're gonna sew into it. If you don't, you are more likely every now and then to break a needle, and you don't want to be getting through loads of needles on your projects. Always work out before you get started what order you want to make your garment in. What you don't want to do is get halfway through and think, oh, I should have done this bit first, and now it's tricky to get to because you've already sewn up another seam, for example. You want to work everything out. Just write some little bullet points of what order to do it all in before you even start the first seam. If you are sewing a seam that goes over a curve, like over a bust, you're going to have two different shape pieces. You're going to have one which is a curve going one way and one going the other, and you need to put these together. You don't want to put these edge to edge because the same length is where the stitch line is, not where your seam allowance edge is. What you want to do is on the side that appears smaller, cut a few little snips in it along the seam, and just make sure you don't go as far as where the stitch line is. You don't need to go anywhere near as far as that, but just taking a little bit of a snip all the way around that curve really helps you ease on your seam, and you'll get a perfect curve that you can then iron out, and you'll have the perfect bodice seam or curve seam wherever it's going on your garment. Make sure you stay stitch any openings that are cut on the bias or have a curve, because you'd be amazed how much they can stretch when you are working on it. Just things like around the neck here and around the armhole, you just need a basic stitch on your sewing machine where your stitch line is going to be, and it's going to keep them all perfect. What you don't want to do is get to the end of the project and see that your neck or your armhole is completely stretched out while you've been working on it. It's just stretched without you knowing. Stay stitch it at the beginning before you even start sewing your garment up, and you will maintain a really perfect opening. If you do something wrong, if you sew something with the wrong seam allowance, if you get something caught up, if something gets puckered, don't just leave it. Get your unpicker out and unpick it at that stage and redo it again. It's going to add a bit of time on, but believe me, if you get to the end and you don't, you're going to really regret it. You're going to have a garment that looks fantastic, but you're always going to see that little imperfection. For the few minutes it takes, just unpick it and do that bit again. If you get further down the line with your garment and you realise that you've made a mistake earlier, you've maybe got something caught, a seam allowance is going in the wrong direction, anything like that, just if you can, go back to that stage and just unpick that bit and redo it. Press as you go along. It's tempting just to turn your iron on at the end and press everything, but With things like this, if you get your shoulder seams pressed, you get your side seams pressed first. When you come to do your armhole opening, it's going to be a lot easier. If you haven't already pressed those other seams, when you come to do your openings, your fabric's going to be going all over the place. Press it all first. It's easier to get to the bits you need to press. It's easier to do the sewing that you're doing after that stage. Just much easier all round. You can always do all of your darts and then press them all at once. You can always do your side and your shoulder seams on both your lining and your outer and then press those at once so you don't leave your iron on all day. But just make sure you do it as you go along rather than be tempted just to do it all at the end, because it's going to be a lot harder and take you a lot longer with probably not such a good finish. Make sure you fit your garment as you're going along. I know I said to make a sample to make sure it fits, but unless the fabric you're making your sample in is exactly the same as your garment, it could fit slightly differently. If it is exactly the same, yeah, don't worry. But if it's even slightly different, for example, when I made this dress, I would have made my sample out of calico, which is a lot stiffer than this soft cotton. So the fit could be slightly different. So I always just put it on at stages, just to see if I, for example, might want it a little bit more nipped in at the waist, or I feel like the shoulders need a slight adjustment, anything like that. It's amazing how differently different fabrics can fit. Accept that you're going to make mistakes. I've been doing this over 30 years and I still make mistakes, sometimes really, really silly ones, and I look at them and I just think, how on earth have I done something so stupid? But you're going to make mistakes, so don't get upset about it. Just unpick what you've done and do it again. If you accidentally cut something, it's going to be a bit more tricky. You might have to recut a panel if you cut the wrong bit, or you might be able to patch something up, but it's just one of those things. You're going to make mistakes. You are going to cut the wrong bits if you're new to this. I don't think I've met anyone who has done dressmaking without at some point had pure frustration at doing something wrong and having to go quite a step back or recut a panel. It happens. You will learn from it and you won't make that same mistake again. And on the same theme of mistakes, if you get to the point where you're just getting frustrated, you've kept trying the same thing and you just can't get it right, you keep unpicking it, just walk away. I don't know how many times over the years I've found something fiddly, I've got really frustrated, so I've just walked away, had a coffee, got some fresh air, come back, and then it's been a breeze. You just need to step away and come back with a clear head when you're not feeling frustrated, and I bet it's going to be a lot easier than what you thought it was. Always trim or snip your seam allowance. It depends what part you're doing and what the fabric is like as to how you want to do it. You can either snip into the fabric to help it go around a curve, like something like bagging out an armhole, or you can trim it quite short. You have to weigh up how it sits and how much sturdiness you want to add to it. Sometimes you want to keep a bit of seam allowance for that, and you also need to think about how your fabric is going to fray. A fabric like this doesn't fray too much. You can snip into it, you can trim it quite short. If you're making something like a coat and you've got quite a chunky wool fabric, for example, it's going to fray with your big thick fibres. It's going to fray a lot easier, so you don't want to be trimming it quite so short. And also, if you have a nice lightweight fabric like this, you can cut both sides of your seam allowance the same. If you're using something quite heavy, it's always a good idea to stagger the seam allowance that you're cutting. Cut one side shorter than the other, and then when you press both of these bits of fabric in the same direction, you're not going to have a ridge. The last thing you want is a ridge going around something like a neckline, around a collar, anything like that. So just think about that seam allowance, whether you want to snip it, whether you want to notch it, whether you want to just trim it the same, whether you're going to press it open or towards one side, or whether you're going to stagger it. Lots of things to think about. Another thing that you can do samples with your leftover bits when you're cutting out your fabric at the beginning. Just think about your skill level. If you're completely new, just start with something really, really basic, just to get used to following patterns, making patterns, working out what order to do things in. Don't set yourself a task that you're just set for failure before you start. Everyone has to start at the beginning. I make wedding dresses now. When I turned up day one at college, I wouldn't have had a clue. I started with a basic cotton skirt. That was my first project, and I found that really hard, and my stitching was absolutely appalling. But you just move on and set yourself goals that are realistic. Do a few basic projects with some cotton, and then maybe move on to a slightly more tricky project using a cotton, or do the same basic project but use a more tricky fabric. Don't just start out thinking, I'm going to make this bias cut dress out of velvet with ruffles on and all of that kind of detail. It's not a good place to start. Start at the beginning, basic cotton shift dress like this, or a tote bag, or just something really simple. And don't rush. Don't get up in the morning and think, I want to wear this tonight. I used to do that when I was a teenager when I first started, but I've got to say my clothes were thrown together that I would wear out. They didn't look great, but I was determined to work quickly. You learn better and you end up with something much more professional looking if you just take your time, just slow down, just work it out step by step what you need to do. Don't rush any of the steps. Don't move on to the next step until you're really happy with what you've done. And it always helps just to write a list of the order of things to do. You can tick them off and you can see how far along your project you are. But I really recommend, more than anything, not rushing anything, because it's not going to be as accurate, it's not going to be as neat, and you're probably not going to enjoy the process. One of the great things about making your own clothes is it's not just the fun of wearing lovely clothes you've made yourself that you really like, it's the process of doing it. It's fun. It should be fun. And that's all 20, but number 21 as a bonus, just really enjoy it. You really want to enjoy this hobby. This is the whole point. Make sure you're enjoying it. If you're not, walk away and come back when you're feeling more relaxed so you can enjoy every minute of it. So I really hope all of these points, it's been very quick and to the point, but I didn't want to go on too long about each of these little things. I hope it's helpful, and I hope you have a lot more now to think about before you start your projects, or different ways to improve on your dressmaking journey. As I said at the beginning, I always answer every comment. It might take me a few days, but I always get back to people if there's any questions. You can always send me a direct message on Instagram or Facebook, or email me if you've got any kind of more long-winded questions. I do, again, always respond to those, even though it might sometimes take me a few days. So if you've enjoyed this, please like the video, put a comment, do a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. I put new videos up every week.